Gente, Negócios. Oferecimento. Grant Thornton. Transformar é necessário, evoluir é essencial. Lide Litoral Paulista. Quem é líder, participa. E Ande Futebol. Aprovada pelos apaixonados por futebol.
Olá, bom dia, seja muito bem-vindo ao Gente Negócios, que hoje traz a história da cônsul-geral da Índia, Manisha Swami. Manisha ingressou no Serviço de Relações Exteriores da Índia em 2008. Como diplomata de carreira, serviu na Embaixada da Índia em Madrid e Manila e em vários cargos de relevância no Ministério das Relações Exteriores e chegou a São Paulo há 7 meses. Bom dia, seja muito bem-vinda.
Bom dia.
E a gente conversa também com o Jarbas, que está aqui nos ajudando nesse bate-papo super importante, né, Jarbas?
É um bate-papo interessante. Eu acho que a Índia e o Brasil têm muitas coisas em comum. São dois países em desenvolvimento, são países com grandes oportunidades e com grandes desafios sociais. Então, acho que tem muito o que a gente conversar hoje e conhecer um pouquinho mais da Índia.
Entender um pouquinho, então, essa relação da Índia. Vamos entender como é que funciona essa relação Brasil-Índia. Como é que a senhora avalia essa relação entre os dois países?
So, thank you very much for this. And I would like to say that India-Brazil relations are on a very, very positive trajectory. We are both two big countries, I would say emerging countries, and there are a lot of synergies between two countries. And if I talk about the trade relations, India-Brazil, the trade relations have been increasing, and they have seen increase like they have not in the past 4 years. We have seen a significant increase. We had set a target of 15 billion US dollar trade between India and Brazil, which has already been achieved last year. So I would say that both the countries have a very, very positive relationship, a partnership which is really growing and deepening. Our political relationship also is a fantastic one, and adding to that, our trade and commerce relations equally serving as a strong pillar of our relationship. And I would also like to tell that in terms of our people-to-people contact or culture, we have seen a lot of curiosity, lot of positive reception from Brazilians, local people. Like we have a cultural center under our jurisdiction in Sao Paulo, which is called Swami Cultural Center, and whenever we have any event, we see more than Indians, we see more Brazilians coming and enjoying our event. Just to give you an example, in October last year, which is Mahatma Gandhi, the father of nations, birth anniversary falls on 2nd October, and that day we had a national election also, so we had organized an event that following week giving a musical tribute to Mahatma Gandhi, and our auditorium was full of Brazilian people who were really enjoying the musical rendition given by a local Brazilian. His name is Marcus Santuri, and he did the psalms and the songs of Mahatma Gandhi's favorite songs he sang, and all the Brazilians were really enjoying. So that shows how positive atmosphere and attitude towards India is I have witnessed in past 7 months. So I think they are excellent relations, and we have a really long way to go. I mentioned today also that like India and Brazil, they form major groupings as well, the multilateral, not only bilateral, multilateral. We are the part of IBSA, we are the part of BRICS, we are a basic group also. And just to mention that India is now G20 presidency, the group of G20 countries. India is this year the presidency, and we will be giving this presidency to Brazil this year at the end of the 2023. So there are a lot of synergies, and there are a lot of things which we can do together, and we have been doing. So I would say all in all, the relationship is in a very healthy state.
Relacionamento interessante.
A relação do Brasil e Índia é muito amistosa, é muito boa, mas comercialmente ainda tem um desequilíbrio, né? E muito potencial para crescer essa parceria. O que os governos indiano e brasileiros têm feito nesse sentido?
Basically, I think as per our records, India stands at the rank of 5th country in terms of exporting to Brazil and 11th at the number of 11 from importing. And so there is a lot of, I would say synergies of interest. Mutual interest, I would say. So there are various areas, though we are doing well already in terms of minerals, in terms of oil, in terms of petro products, in terms of agrochemical, the pharmaceuticals actually. So there is a lot of already trade is going on actually, but I would say that there is a huge potential. Certainly I would say I have seen various delegations coming to Brazil, especially for ethanol, biofuel, because we know Brazil has done really well, and we have had 3-4 delegations in the last year who have come because India has gone very strong on biofuel, especially ethanol mission. So we would like to learn from Brazil, and we have had various delegations. So in terms of renewable energy, it remains a huge factor. Then another area which I can say is animal husbandry. We know that Brazil, yes, they say that the basis of the Gir cow which you use was brought from India, from the state of Gujarat. So, and you have done wonders with that actually. I was going through a presentation from one of the very good fazendas in Sao Paulo, and they showed us that the Brazilian cows give more than 25-26 liters, while the Indian is like 13-14 liters only. So there is a huge possibility. Our animal husbandry minister visited Sao Paulo actually, and there have been subsequent delegation for animal husbandry and livestock actually. So there is various, I would say segments where we want to learn from Brazil, and there is a mutual cooperation, we would like to have with Brazil.
E quando a gente fala dessa ligação, né, entre os dois comércios, entre os dois países, tem um ponto muito importante que é em relação aos portos. A Índia tem 21 portos principais e a gente está no maior porto da América Latina. Como é que a senhora avalia essa questão portuária?
So the ports in India also have a very important role, as you know, and India has also launched various infrastructural projects. So like we have a project called Sagar Mala, where we are connecting all the ports basically, which are like from the Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean. So we have various infrastructural projects where we are connecting them. Also India is also connecting dry ports as well, container depots as well. So like our Prime Minister said that we want to make India as one India, one nation. We say Ek Bharat, Shreshth Bharat. So it means all the major important, because these are your national assets, if I say so. The infrastructural projects, the highways, these are national assets. So what we see that the ports and even the inland container depots or dry ports, they are a huge, I would say, important asset, and India has launched all these big projects basically to link all these ports. It's called Sagar Mala project as well. So I would say that it's very important that these infrastructural projects are actually boosted and strengthened. Just to mention that today India, presented its budget, basically the union budget we say is a central budget, and there has been a huge increase in infrastructural spending as well. So I am also in the city of Santos, which is a port city they say, and it was really amazing to see, and I think it's one of the, I was told as the largest port, not only in Brazil but in the entire Latin America. So I would say that there remains best practices to learn, and how do we expand on this aspect. Definitely it remains one of the, I would say, areas where we can explore the possibilities.
Sabe, Jarbas, que quando a gente aprende na escola, né, masculino, feminino, a gente aprende que o feminino de cônsul é consuleza. Mas hoje eu aprendi que uma mulher, quando ocupa o cargo de cônsul, ela não é consuleza, sabia?
A consuleza é a esposa do cônsul, né?
Isso, é a esposa do cônsul. Ela é a cônsul. E aí, aproveitando esse gancho que a gente está com a cônsul geral da Índia, como é que a senhora vê a participação da mulher nesse cenário econômico e às vezes em cenários que antigamente eram ocupados estritamente por homens?
So, women, as anyways in any society, I will say play a they play a very important role, and especially if you say in India, they say that there are like 432 million working women age, so but out of that 300 something are working in unorganized sector. So, what happens? Women work, but their work is never counted, it's kind of unorganized sector. Like you go in India, you see the agricultural, you go to any village, you will see women are working in agriculture, more than a man. Similarly, the small medium enterprises which we call MSME, where the women are weaving or doing a handicraft, all these things are done by women actually. So, obviously the women play a very important role, and in terms of contributing to the economy, though as per the data, I think it's only in the GDP as of now is 18%, because it's unorganized sector, it's semi-formal, it's not a formal sector where you can account the women for directly contributing. So, it's basically indirect contribution, but still I would say that women play an important role, and to motivate them, I would say there are various incentives given now by the government also to come up as women entrepreneurs as well. We see a boom now, and you know that now women can get loans, like for loans also, even for the land registration, the concessions are given for the women. So, obviously there are incentives given to women, but it takes a time to be at I would say to come in those numbers directly in the formal sector. So, I would say, by the way, just to tell you, the union budget of India was presented by a woman only. India's finance minister is a woman, and who used to be our defense minister also. So, there is equal opportunity for the women, and the law provides everybody equal opportunities, but from the societal system, because there have been societal, there have been historical factors that women generally are in a very unorganized sector, like handicrafts, MSME, small and all. So, their contribution, you would say, not that you would see resulting into figures, but actually they contribute a lot in the economy, and even maintaining the entire, I would say, social structure of any nation.
Cônsul Manisha, recentemente a Índia fez 74 anos de independência, de república, né? O que isso representa para os indianos?
So, as I have been saying that, so last year we celebrated our 75 years of independence, and this year 26 January, this year was our Republic Day, when we celebrated our basically 74 years of Republic and 75 years of our independence actually. And this was celebrated as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which means in English the eternal festival of your freedom. So, likewise our Prime Minister said that in his speech, that this opportunity not only gives us a sense of pride from where we started and where we have come, also gives us a responsibility to take it further. So, our Prime Minister has also said that the coming 25 years, when India will be celebrating its centenary celebration, we should be a developed country. So, he has given us 25 years, which we call Amrit Kal, where every Indian has been given some responsibilities. I mean, they have to take it forward, and they have to do for the country to make it as a developed country. So, when we do a centenary celebration of our freedom, we are really into a very good position. So, I would say that it gives us immense pride where we have come, also a sense of gratitude to our people who have contributed, be our soldiers, be our scientists, be our farmers, who have contributed immensely to bring us where we are, and we can aggressively present ourselves on this world stage, that look, India, you know, is not like what you used to, you deserted us in 1947, where I told you that we did not have even the grains to feed the stomach, you know, for the 200 years of exploitation basically. So, but it has taken us a while to come out, and when we have come, you see the 70% of generic medicine of all over the world is produced in India. I say we are as ancient as we could be, and we are as modern as we could be, because India's space mission, if you see, India's mission to Mars was led by all the women scientists basically. Now India is going, moon mission has launched actually. So it has been done, all the India's missiles basically, you know, that India was not given the technology, and then Indian scientists worked very hard to do it. Our former president of India, who passed on later on, he is called our missile man, and he developed indigenous cryogenics engines basically, and all these things were done by the Indian scientists basically. So my point is that the 75 years of independence and the Republic of, you know, gives us a sense of pride as well as a responsibility, that how do we take forward, how do we eradicate the issues which we are also facing at the same time, and how do we work as collectively, you know. Of course, our lives are much better than my parents' lives, you know, maybe 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So definitely there have been a lot of huge progress, and we have to be thankful for that, and we have to take this forward, I would say. And I think our task is very set actually. So I hope I answered your question because I really get emotional, and emotional in a sense that I really feel pride that, you know, what we were left, and what we have, and you know, as a nation, how do you rebound? After the pandemic also, you see that how resilient Indian economy was, and we never, I mean, after initial lockdown, we never had a lockdown, and our economy was the only economy who was doing very well in spite of the world economy shrinking actually.
Gente, Negócios vai para um rápido intervalo e volta já já, não sai daí.
O que nos move nos transporta para o futuro. Dinamismo para acompanhar as evoluções tecnológicas e os novos modelos de negócios. Dinamismo para inovar. Se superar as expectativas é importante para você, é importante para nós também. Oferecemos soluções completas para potencializar o crescimento sustentável do seu negócio e projetá-lo para o futuro. Esteja onde estiver, conte com a gente.
As campeãs da Andi Futebol para você começar o ano com tudo. Mochilas iradas do seu time favorito para chegar com estilo. Chuteiras para mostrar que é craque antes mesmo da bola rolar. E claro, camisas, calções e tudo mais para você marcar vários golaços. Andi Futebol, aprovada pelos apaixonados por futebol.
Gente, Negócios está de volta hoje conversando com a cônsul-geral da Índia, Manisha Swami. A gente falou no início do programa muito sobre a relação, né, entre Brasil e Índia, e eu queria tratar agora de um assunto muito específico que diz respeito à Índia. Como é que a medicina tradicional indiana ayurvédica poderia contribuir, então, com a saúde dos brasileiros, já que ela não é tão conhecida assim?
So when we talk about pandemic, I think everybody has gone through a phase where they have got directly or indirectly conscious about their health, because pandemic has shown us that, you know, we are all vulnerable, and there is a limit. Till the vaccine had not come, you know, we were all helpless and we didn't know. So basically then it has also opened the ways that we should think about holistic health and traditional medicines play a crucial role in holistic health. In fact, before the vaccine was launched and the pandemic was still going on, from March 2020, our Prime Minister also had launched this, that we should use the traditional medicine till we find a solution for this vaccine or this virus basically. So the things from Ayurveda, which is an Indian ancient science, medical science, they were used. So this forms a part of traditional medicine. Also there are various things like there are various therapies like Unani and Siddha and all. So India has different traditional medicines coming from different I would say sectors. So we have clubbed it together, we call it as a traditional medicine, and then we have made a exclusive ministry for that actually, which works on that. So propagation of traditional medicine is very good, and it's a very scientific base, because all the Ayurveda is a written scripture basically. So it's not like something which is just coming, so otherwise also I would say traditional wisdom and all, it's always been effective. And just to mention that when I was coming here, I went to the National Institute of Ayurveda, which is in Rajasthan, Jaipur in India, and I met 6 Brazilian students there who are pursuing the Ayurveda course there actually. They have been given a scholarship. So similarly, I would say there are various plants I see here in Brazil which has a medicinal properties, and I am sure they must be using. So there is a lot of significance in using of traditional medicine. It just needs a little bit of more work, I would say, that how we do a matchmaking basically. Like I see lot of aloe vera here, I see lot of asparagus here, which all have a medicinal property. So there lies a huge, I would say, area where we can cooperate, because we have to rely sometimes, not only these other medicines, the formal medicines, but traditional medicines also form a very, very significant part. I will just give you an example, like in India, if we talk about Indian cuisine you see is all spices, but every spice has a medicinal property. Like for example turmeric, no Indian meal is can be cooked without use of turmeric, which you call curcumin. How do you say curcuma? Sorry, curcuma. So and you see how Starbucks is selling it as a turmeric latte in US, but every Indian every morning when he eats a food, he is taking this. And it's a pinch of turmeric, it's not we use, we don't use it like, so everything like Herodotus said, let food be thy medicine, okay. So similarly Indians have incorporated these spices, be it pepper, be it cinnamon, be it turmeric or cardamom or cloves, so everything has a medicinal property, and it is regularly used in Indian I would say like lunch, dinner, at least you are using it. So we have learnt how to incorporate these things in our food system, and it is coming from generations. It's not like for the first time I am using turmeric, no, it is like coming from ancient wisdom which we have been using, and I think that's why our immunity is best, I would say because I think we are using our food which has a medicinal property. So what generally happens when we get cold and cough, so generally we boil ginger, we use a pepper or clove, so all this thing concoction we say, and we use it for our throat or like that actually. So now you find lot of variations of tea like a ginger tea and basil. In India basil is used, so but we have been using it like that only always. Every Indian uses like that only, use of ginger and cardamom, because it boosts your health actually. So traditional medicines have a value, and I think it's only the matter of knowledge basically. Knowledge dissemination, that people should know about it, how we can use these properties, I think.
Para a gente finalizar agora, então, trazendo pouquinho, ela disse que está 7 meses aqui no Brasil. O que você mais gosta aqui no nosso país?
What I love Brazil is it's very green. I love its flora and fauna. I mean, it's even if you go out like 10 kilometers away or 20 kilometers away, you see nice landscapes, and I'm amazed to see how you have built your infrastructure and also the preserving the landscape. So that's the most beautiful, I find, the part here. Apart from, I would say that people are really nice, and I really, even if people do not understand your language, they're still very warm and cordial. I go to the fairas, and the man will say, okay, namaste. So I think I'm the only Indian, he's watching me, who comes religiously to the faira to buy the vegetables. I love maracuja here. I love, I love certain fruits I really love here, and I feel that I should eat those when I'm here in Brazil actually. And these people will recognize me, and they will be like, hello, namaste, India. So I think a lot of warmth, I would say, and I, touch wood, I have yet to find somebody who's saying something, which is not appeasing to ears, I mean, about India as well. So it's very important that people have very positive attitude when you tell that you are from India. It's a very positive reception we get from the people, and definitely I would say that. And there are many things. One thing that I always tell, what I have to learn from Brazil, or I mean, the inclusion, the social inclusion. Like you see, when I went to Porto Alegre airport, I saw there is a sign for autistic people as well, priority line, okay. When I go to Santa Lucia and near my house, the supermarket, there is a line for autistic people, I don't know how do you say, but there is a symbol made. So these are the things which I feel that your society is including and giving, chance to people who needs priority, I know. So that's what I think is something which I always, look forward to learn from Brazil, inclusion, more inclusive society where marginalized people like autistic or any other ailment may be given a priority. So that is something I really admire for Brazil, being very inclusive and warm.
Bom que ainda tem gente que pensa assim, né, do brasileiro, que a gente possa chegar a ser realmente esse povo acolhedor, esse povo que inclui, né?
Só complementando, acho que o brasileiro tem um complexo de vira-lata, né? A gente tem tanta coisa boa aqui que precisa esperar alguém de fora falar. Então a gente precisa começar a valorizar o que é nosso, ao invés de ficar só criticando, né, Roberto?
É isso aí.
E é muito bom ouvir alguém de fora falar tão bem.
É isso aí. E trazer essa esperança, né, para o brasileiro, de que esse é o retrato que eles têm, que a Índia tem do país, porque foi bem recebida, provavelmente, né, Consul? Gostaria de agradecer a sua presença, muito obrigada, sucesso para a senhora.
Muito obrigada for having me here, and I wish to see you all in India.
Em breve. Muito obrigado.
Ele se comprometeu, hein? Obrigada, Jarbas.
Obrigado.
Obrigada.
O Gente Negócios fica por aqui. Muito obrigada pela sua companhia. A gente se vê. Até mais.
Gente Negócios. Oferecimento. Grant Thornton. Transformar é necessário, evoluir é essencial. Lide Litoral Paulista. Quem é líder, participa. E Ande Futebol. Aprovada pelos apaixonados por futebol.